Ok, clase, para este video, para esta noche, el video es sobre los verbos de go. There's two different things we're going to talk about in regards to this video. Go verbs and present progressive. So right now we're going to learn about go verbs, and I'm sorry, that should have a note right there. Okay, so what is a go verb? A go verb is a verb that is irregular in the yo form. It's irregular because it ends in go. So let's take a look at some examples, okay? There is a small but a very important group of verbs, again, that we call go verbs, and these are the go verbs I want you to know. Hacer, to make or to do. Caer, to fall. Decir, to say or tell. Poner, to put. Salir, to leave. Tener, to have, which y'all know. Traer, to bring. And venir, to come. And oír, to hear. Okay, so let's start, like, how do we form these when we conjugate them, right? Because they're somewhat irregular in the yo form. Well, let's start with tener. Do y'all remember the yo form for the verb tener, to have? It's yo tengo. Again, this is an example of a go verb, and you may have forgotten that. The yo form ends in go, right? Y'all see that? It ends in go, so it's a go verb. So what do you think? Sorry, got ahead of myself there. So what do you think the yo form of the verb venir is? Take a wild guess. Vengo. Again, you dropped the ending, which was IR, and you had go. Simple enough. What about the yo forms for salir and poner? Ooh. Guess what? Salgo and pongo. Easy enough. So are you getting the picture here? I got it. Thanks. All right, but wait, there's more. There are a few quirks, which are just, there are some strange ones. The following few verbs don't just add the ending yo, or go, sorry. They're a tad bit more irregular. Take a look. So look at hacer. When we drop the ending, which is er, we usually just add go for go verbs, but this, it drops the C as well. So you just have to memorize these. Yo hago. Traer becomes yo traigo. There's an I there that got changed or added. Decir becomes digo. It's a stem change from E to I. Oír becomes oigo. And caer becomes caigo. Okay? So write those down, memorize them. And again, that's just the yo form. So what about the other forms when you conjugate go verbs, like the to form, the nosotros form? What about those forms? Do they also end in go? No, they are regular. So when you conjugate a go verb, just know that the yo form is going to be irregular, but the rest are going to have regular endings. Let's take a look. Hacer, for example, means to make or to do. Let's conjugate it. Yo hago. Tú haces, él hace or ella hace, nosotros hacemos, ellos or ellas hacen. Again, look, the verb is an ER verb. Y'all see that? And when you conjugate it, it needs regular ER endings, which it does. S, E, hemos, en, other than the yo form. Okay? That is it. That is el fin for go verbs. If you have any preguntas, let me know. The next parte of this video is the present progressive, okay? So this is a different set of notes that you need to use. ¿Qué estás haciendo ahora mismo? What are you doing in this exact moment? So the present progressive, guys, it talks about or describes an action that is in the process at the moment we are talking. It's something you are currently doing. For example, I am talking. Right now, in this current moment, I am talking. A hint for this and when to use the present progressive is if a verb is ending in ing, it's something you're currently doing. See? Past, today, future. Something you're doing right now. Sorry, had to. Ahora mismo, right now. Woohoo! Okay? So, ¿cómo lo formamos? How do we form it? Well, there are two parts to forming the present progressive. If you remember, número uno was you need the present tense forms of estar. And number two you need a verb ending in ing. For AR verbs, ing equals A-N-D-O, 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 and Ando was its name. And then for ER-IR verbs, the ing is, guess what? I-E-N-D-O, I-E-N-D-O, what? I-E-N-D-O, Endo was its name. Okay? And if the verb ends in a vowel, when you take the endings off, okay, the ing becomes yendo with a Y. Just remember the bingo song. Okay, so here is the formula. So number 1, you need a present tense form of estar. Here's how you conjugate it again. I am, you are, he or she is, we are, or they are. Okay? And then here is the other part of it, part 2. You need a verb, okay, ending in ando or iendo or yendo. For AR, they need to end in ando. For ER and IR, iendo. Okay? So let's have some practica with this. The verb hablar, which means what? To talk. That's it. To talk is the infinitive. The participio, which is the ing part, what would it be? If it ends in AR, what would it be? Hablando, right? Drop the AR, add ando. What about comer? It's an ER verb. When we drop it, are we adding iendo, right? Vivir, it's an IR verb. What are we adding? I-N-D-O. Okay, estudiar, AR verb. It needs ando. Pensar, AR verb. It needs ando. Jugar, AR verb. It needs ando. Encender, ER verb. It needs iendo. You getting the picture? Okay? So in English, guys, you would never say he walking or she working. You say he's walking or he is walking. She's working or she is working. So how would we do that in Espanol? Okay? Again, it's the same, just as in English. You never leave out the verb estar. So use estar plus ando, iendo, or endo. So let's look at it. So how would we conjugate he's walking? Well, we need he is that estoy, estás, está, estamos, or están? Está. And then to walk is caminar. We drop the AR, we're left with camin, and we need to add A-N-D-O because it's an AR verb. Let's do another one. She's working. So we need she is. So is that estoy, estás, está, estamos, or están? And then to work is trabajar. It's an AR verb, but when we drop the AR, are we going to add ando or iendo? Ella está trabajando. Okay? So again, guys, I hope that was helpful to you guys. Make sure you have all y'all's notas on it for the prueba mañana. And si tienes una pregunta, okay, come and talk to me about it. Gracias. Adiós.